Trent Bradshaw, Brandon Rogers, Bradshaw Financial Planning, and thank you for joining us for Mind Your Money. Today is November the 9th, 2020. Let's touch on the agenda for today. We're going to talk about the election, obviously. Secondly, we'll look at the market response to that. And then third, let's take a look at 2021 and what we expect, Brandon.
Yeah, so let's get started with the election itself. That's obviously in the short term, causing a lot of people anxiety maybe, and to see, hey, how is this going to pan out? Obviously, whoever is going to be president, it certainly is important. But remember, at the end of the day, whatever policies either side wants to get done, they got to get this passed through Congress. And they can come up with all the greatest ideas in the world, or good and bad, but it's got to get passed through Congress. So the market's really more concerned about the gridlock as far as the House and the Senate. So as long as those stay separated, that's a pretty positive thing for the market because nothing much can get done. So that's pretty big. And also in the short term, we're trying to get some more direction on is the stimulus. The market's certainly waiting on the stimulus to really take place. There was something, hey, let's try to get it done, and it didn't happen, and then, hey, it might get pushed into next year, and then now they're kind of all coming back to the table. We're trying to get the stimulus passed as soon as possible. It's another thing that we think will be a pretty big success in the market, and you'll probably see a decent rally off of it.
Yeah, sure. like you said, Brandon, we're focused on obviously the gridlock, which is a good thing. And if you haven't seen our previous video, take a chance to look at that. Brandon and I talked about that in length. When we have gridlock, obviously the market performs better historically. Again, it can't predict the future, but historically it does perform better. In addition to that, the stimulus you're talking about, actually the Democratic side of the equation was talking about a stimulus plan that was much greater than what the GOP was talking about. So chances are we're going to get a bigger stimulus than what we had originally expected. Mm-hmm. The market runs off that liquidity and all that money, so let's see what happens. But gridlock and also stimulus are what we're focused on right now. Wish it was fundamentals, but we'll touch on that in a little bit. Yeah. But let's look at the market response of what occurred with the presidential election and then where we're at as of today. Presidential election got the uncertainty, some of the uncertainty out of the mix. Right now, it looks like there will be a change in the helm as far as president is concerned and vice president, but that gridlock again is good. The market's responded well. If we take a look at the last probably 5 weeks in the market, you'll look at the NASDAQ, you'll look at the S&P 500, you can look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, even look at more of a newer type of technology index, which we call the cloud index, and see what kind of response the market's had. Well, surprisingly, everything's pretty much at par. Everything's up about 6 to 7% in the last 5 weeks. The market's rallied a lot in the last 5 days coming out of the election. Mm-hmm. But what we're seeing today, as of November the 9th, there may be a transition occurring. We may see things transition away in the short term from technology over to more of the consumer discretionary, more of the staples, more of the financials, and also energy sectors. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're seeing today. Technology is not performing as well as the overall indexes when you look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, because there's a lot of financials in there, a lot of exposure to energy also. So again, we're going to watch that. It doesn't mean we're going to make a change in the portfolio, not necessarily, because again, we believe the technology stocks have a tremendous amount of cash on hand, tremendous amount of opportunity for advancement going forward. So again, the allocations we got, I feel pretty good about. The one thing that we will focus on going forward, again, is to watch that stimulus. And if that stimulus comes in, we should see some positive reaction from the technology sector, which is why we have a holding there. Yep. Brandon, you want to touch a little bit on what we're looking for 2021? Yeah,
when you get into 2021, all across the board, it looks like to be a positive year. This year has really been a year of COVID and the election, but then also stimulus. So it's really been affecting the market. Obviously, jobs numbers have been horrible. Earnings have been bad on these companies, and that's what we refer to as fundamentals that usually run the market. That really hasn't been the case in 2020. It's all about stimulus. We feel that in 2021, you're going to have a lot better response as far as earnings are concerned, because again, hopefully things are getting opened back up, people are going back to work, or GDP is going up and in the right direction. So that's a big thing to watch that we'll continue to monitor, but we still think that 2021 is going to be a positive year, and that's what we're really positioning ourselves for from that end.
Yeah, fundamentally speaking, comparing earnings in 2021 or expectations to 2020, revenue growth and earnings growth should look pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
So those fundamentals should help drive the market north going into next year. If you've got any questions or concerns, please reach out to Brandon or myself. This is My New Money with Bradshaw Financial Planning. Look forward to speaking with you soon.